Nancy had a knack. It was a strange one. Not a talent per se, more like the universe had a very strong opinion of how one particular part of her life should work. Nancy never paid for drinks. And I'm not saying she was a good flirt and men often bought her drinks, no. Ever since she was a young child, she never paid. Her earliest memory, she was 3 years old at the register in a grocery store with her mom. Nancy grabbed for a juice box, but her mom told her no. She started to cry. To her mother's surprise and Nancy's delight, the cashier handed her back the juice. No charge. It's my treat. In college, Nancy became addicted to coffee, and her knack became more apparent. On her frequent trips to campus coffee shops, no money was ever taken from her meal plan account. Beverages were always free, but that wasn't worth noting for a young woman at college parties. As an adult, the knack became hard to ignore. The person ahead of her would anonymously pay for the next customer as an act of kindness, or the barista would wink and hand her card back, or she had ordered the 10,000th coffee so her drink was free. People of all sorts would appear just in time to buy her drink. You might have thought it was flirting, but for Nancy it never meant anything. They would disappear as quickly as they arrived. By her early 30s, Nancy was well aware of her gift. She took full advantage and enjoyed it. Over time, a question began forming in the back of her mind. Could she pay for a drink, even if she wanted to? When it first occurred to her, she quickly decided she would rather not pay, so she didn't care either way. That ease didn't last. The question began to churn in the back of her mind. The lucky coincidences that led to her never paying became stressful experiences. Going to a cafe became an existential attack against her autonomy and sense of free will. The question gnawed at her so painfully that she avoided leaving her apartment. Nancy decided that this anxiety had gone on for long enough. She was sure she could pay for a drink if she wanted to. She vowed to try, for science, to see what would happen. Nancy confidently strolled into a smoothie cafe and ordered, credit card in hand. Congratulations! You're wearing a yellow shirt, the color of our logo. Customers wearing yellow today get a free smoothie as part of our new promotion. The cashier smiled. Nancy's heart dropped and she felt her palms get sweaty. Thank you so much, but is there any way I can gift that to the next customer? I'd really like to pay. Sorry, the manager is strict. Only customers wearing yellow get free smoothies. I'd like to reject my prize then and pay anyway. I don't understand. You want to pay? I would just really like to pay. But who doesn't like free things? I want to contribute to the local economy. It's a special one-time promotion. You got so lucky. I insist, but people wearing yellow don't pay today. Nancy ripped off her yellow shirt and stood there holding out her credit card. Okay, I'm not wearing yellow. Now I have to pay. Looking extremely uncomfortable, the cashier took the card and gave it a swipe. She paused and swiped again. I'm sorry, but it's not reading. Can you try again? Nancy pleaded. The machine dinged. Card was rejected. I know there's money in the account. Nancy rustled through her wallet. I have cash. Sorry, we only take credit. Do you want your smoothie? We've already made it. Nancy walked out of the store defeated, wearing only her bra and sipping the red berry smoothie. Ordering drinks in person was quite stressful, so Nancy tried an app to order delivery. After Xing out of 3 separate promotions for free drinks and removing the coupon that had been automatically added to her account, she triumphantly hit the place order button. Success! A notification said that her cranberry juice was being freshly prepared and would be delivered in 20 minutes. She checked her bank account and was thrilled to see that the $6 charge was pending. After 40 minutes had passed, her excitement had turned into anxiety, and after an hour and a half, she gave up hope that her drink would ever arrive. 6 hours later, there was an unexpected knock at her door. A delivery person stood there holding a juice. Nancy smiled ear to ear. She had paid for a drink for the very first time. They handed her the cup and offered an apology. Sorry this is super late. Our other delivery guy wrecked his car earlier today. Anyway, this drink's on us. Her heart dropped. I can pay, I don't mind. You can pay next time. We already sent the refund. These apps are such a pain. I couldn't take your money even if I wanted to. Forlorn, Nancy sipped her drink and opened her phone. There was a new notification. Not only had her $6 been refunded, but the cafe had given her a credit for her next drink free. Clearly, if Nancy was going to buy herself a drink, she needed a better plan. Nancy strode into a dive bar, cash only, her wallet full with small bills. She ordered a cheap can of beer and handed over the exact amount. The bartender waved it away. It's on me. I'm feeling generous. Nancy had come prepared with a lie. She performed her script. That is really kind of you, but can you buy my next drink instead? I have been waiting to treat myself to this beer for years. I finally escaped my asshole husband. The divorce papers went through today. He raised his eyebrows and shrugged, grabbed the beer and opened his hand to take the cash. Nancy's heart beat faster and her skin tingled. It was finally happening. For the first time in months, she felt relief. She could exert her will on the world. She smiled. A ceiling tile fell and embedded itself in the bartender's shoulder. He dropped the cash and can. As if from a drinking fountain, blood poured and mixed with the beer foaming on the ground. An ambulance was called. Nancy quietly left the bar, her chest hollow. Had she done this? She remembered the delivery person's passing comment about the car crash and felt nauseated. What was once a gift was now a curse. She quickly turned to denial. She had not caused the bartender's injury. She had not caused the car accident. It was simply not how the world worked. Her denial turned to defiance. She would prove she wasn't cursed. These were just unfortunate coincidences. She would go, right now, and pay for a damn drink. It was quite late by the time she found a 24-hour diner. She sat at a booth, ordered a coffee, and nursed it for some time. Nancy waited for someone to bring the check, but of course it never arrived. She politely asked the waiter. He nodded but then went on break and didn't return. At 3 a.m., she awoke, having dozed off at the table. Nancy decided to take matters into her own hands. She took a crisp 20 out of her wallet and tucked it under the empty coffee mug. She yawned and stood to leave. Nancy had just arrived at her car and was reaching for her keys when she was thrown to the pavement by a sudden earth-shaking explosion. Glass scattered across the ground. Alarms rang out across the parking lot. She pushed herself up to stand, ears ringing, and looked back behind her. The diner was no longer there. It was replaced by a pile of rubble. The news reported that a gas leak had touched open flame. No one was sure how it could have happened, since the diner had passed a safety inspection only a week earlier. Nancy stayed on the scene as the firefighters arrived, and was there when they pulled out the first body.